Hey everyone, Desert Brooks back with another video, and today I will be going over my opinions on the heat that Dominik Mysterio has been getting as of late, along with The Judgment Day. And to do so, I'm going to go over a little bit of the history of Dominik and the Judgment Day from the beginning point of not just the story, but how Dominik got up to the main roster and the creation of the Judgment Day. Before I get into that, I'd like to say thank you to all the people who have watched the video of Sassy on the trampoline. That's currently my second most viewed video on the channel. So yeah, thank you so much for that. If you're watching this and haven't seen that video yet, after this one's over, feel free to check it out if you haven't. Anyway, on to the Judgment Day and Dominik Mysterio. So, Dominik Mysterio, as many of you know, is the oldest child of Rey Mysterio and his wife Angie. And Dominik has been a prominent role on WWE television since he was a kid, being featured in a feud that kind of tiptoed the line between story and what was real, or at least seemed like it did, with Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero. Where in that there was a whole part of that story where Dominik was the center, and Eddie and Rey were pretty much fighting over custody, because there was like the whole thing with like, oh, Rey's not your actual father, I am, or that's what Eddie said. And that led to a custody of Dominik ladder match at, I think it was SummerSlam of whatever year that story took place. I don't remember. In which Rey Mysterio won, thanks to outside interference from Eddie's wife, Vicky Guerrero, who I believe is currently, not currently per se, because I don't recall hearing that high-pitched voice of hers in a while, but currently contracted at AEW. knows that Eddie Guerrero is no longer around, so R.I.P. Eddie. But yeah, after time went on, Dominik grew up and he started becoming a wrestler much like his father. And at first, there was this whole father-son tag team dynamic between the two of them, even leading them to become the first ever father-son tag team champions, which was, I'm sure, a really cool moment, you know. And then everything came crashing down. Not as soon as they lost the tag team titles, it took longer than that. And Edge started getting involved in the story because the Judgment Day got involved in the story. Because of all the history between Edge and the Judgment Day. Because Edge was the original leader of the Judgment Day when it was initially just him, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley. And then it's like a night after one of the pay-per-views, Finn Balor got brought into the group after losing to the Judgment Day when he teamed with, I believe it was AJ Styles and Liv Morgan. And they soon got rid of Edge from the group, putting him on the injured list for a while. Then they started turning their attention to a bunch of other superstars, including the likes of Rey and Dominik Mysterio. Which, as time went on, Edge came back, teamed up with Rey at, I believe, Clash at the Castle, and Dominik was not too happy about that, and Rey tried to explain to him, like, oh, I've known Edge for years, he's kind of part of the family now. And Dom was like, well, you've known me for about 20 years. Just kind of had a whole little, kind of, entitled brat fit, let's just say. And as soon as, Edge and Rey got the, victory over Judgment Day, Dominik turned heel, low blowing Edge with a kick to where the sun doesn't shine, and clotheslined Rey Mysterio, much to the amusement of the Judgment Day. And then a few weeks later, or days, Dominik started getting involved with the group. Started forming a, at least on-screen relationship with Rhea Ripley. started calling her mommy, which I still find really cringe. Especially when they started doing the Dominik invading the Mysterio household for holidays, and his mom slapped Rhea Ripley and dropped the whole "my mom slapped mommy" line. Yeah. One of the stupidest and cringiest things ever said on television, and that includes a whole list of many more. And that whole thing of, like, people in relationships like calling each other mommy and daddy when they're not even parents is just weird. Anyway, in more recent times, Dominik has been there and done that with a feud with his father, including a match at WrestleMania. Edge and the Judgment Day sort of, for now at least, finished their beef. And now, most of the Judgment Day have championships or promised title opportunities, with Rhea Ripley being the Women's World Champion, Dominik Mysterio being the NXT North American Champion, and Damian Priest being Senor Money in the Bank. So you almost have to assume sooner rather than later there'll be moments within the Judgment Day where they'll be going down the line of everybody, and they look over at Finn Balor and be like, "Where's your title, Finn? You're not doing enough to earn your keep here, Finn." But yeah, in terms of how well they work as a group, there's no denying that they have some chemistry. But a lot of the lines of dialogue that they have to say, like I said, very cringy. And more recently, Dominik can't really get much of anything out because the crowd just utter him in a shower of booze. And not the kind that he would probably like. I don't really know his drink preferences. Although with him being Mexican, I'd probably be like, "No, I want tequila." But anyway, yeah, this whole Dominik Mysterio Judgment Day thing, it's definitely something, let's just say. As of right now, I think I don't have as much of an opinion on it as I do with the Bloodline story, especially with everything that happened after SummerSlam. But it's definitely something that gets people watching, I guess. Which, in terms of money, revenue, and all that, and not to mention merchandise sales. Great for the company. Much like the whole thing with bringing outsiders like Bad Bunny, Pat McAfee, and Logan Paul into situations. That might be a whole separate video in of itself. If anybody wants to see that, let me know. But yeah, anyway, I think that's pretty much it for right now. I can't really think of... Wait, no, there is more. I just thought of more. Dominik's whole thing with calling Rey Mysterio deadbeat dad. I mean, come on, bro. Have you ever even seen a deadbeat dad? Rey Mysterio is definitely the opposite of one. And Cody Rhodes, I think, said it best. Rey Mysterio might not be perfect. Nobody is. He's made mistakes. And I'm looking at one. Referring to Dominik being the mistake. Which in terms of like banter in any capacity is like, ooh, hey, somebody get the aloe out. And then cue the Michael Kelso, burn! And the whole thing now with Dominik being NXT North American Champion, I didn't really get it, honestly. I mean, I get they want to get more eyes on the NXT product, but having a main roster star pretty much come in and call roughshot and take the championship doesn't really work. I mean, if they wanted to, like, have him just go down to NXT for a stint, much like they did with Finn Balor, Dolph Ziggler, or anybody else that they have had do something like that, that would have been all good and fine. But what they did with Dominik becoming North American Champion doesn't really make much sense to me. Same thing with what they did with the women's tag team titles merging with the NXT women's titles. Made as much sense as Empty Bank. But now, yeah, anyway, now I think that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And until next time, this is Isaac Brooks, signing off.